Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Flow with Catherine. I know it's been a couple of months since we had any new content. Things have just been busy, and I figured, whenever I have the opportunity, I would start posting some content again. We have the addition of Mason to really enhance the relaxation aspect of tonight's flow. Mason, he was sleeping like until I opened my mouth, but he'll settle down. Today's flow, we are going to do some on our knees and then we're going to move to standing, but I want to invite you, as always, to take it in your preference. So if you're like, yeah, I want this to be more grounded, less physically intense, then you don't have to rise at all. You can simply repeat the sequence that we did lower. If you want to have a little more activation, then take it to your feet and you can repeat the flow as often as you like. I honestly don't know what's going on here. Give it a minute. All right, Mason, sit, relax. So tonight's flow, we're also going to do a little bit of focus on our, you always see the videos with the dog just like sleeping so perfectly and quietly. And then there's Mason. Mason, relax. We're going to be focusing on our third chakra, right, solar plexus, between our navel and our rib cage. Also known as the Manipura chakra. And the element associated with this chakra is fire. So to complement that, we're going to begin with a little bit of breath of fire today from the Kundalini yoga practice. And I'll give you some options for that if it's new to you. And then we're going to do a little bit of flow concentrated on activating a little bit of our inner fire. Things such as reigniting passions, helping us to set and move towards goals, helping us to really activate and energize ourselves. This is sort of like an energetic center for us. And there's different ways yoga can help activate it, whether it's through breath of fire, which we'll do tonight, through core exercises to really physically engage that area. Or sometimes it's just in terms of pacing and speed, whatever kind of gives you that sense of heat, that sense of warmth, of moving through and moving forward. Those are the vibes we're trying to activate tonight, the opposite of what Mason is now accomplished. He just went through his solar plexus chakra energy and he's now depleted. So to begin, we're going to start with that Kundalini breath of fire. So although it's a breath practice, it begins with the posture. It all begins with balance and alignment, as we know and don't often have the opportunity to practice. So we're going to start with our bandhas, these sort of little locks all along our center line. So beginning with the Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. So feel the sits bones pressing into the mat and towards each other. And kind of like a squeezing in, like you got to go potty, but obviously we're grown-ups and we can't just go potty. So we're going to use those little muscle groups to kind of lock it in and then draw the navel towards the spine as we go up. And as we're kind of locking root and navel, we begin to feel the energy pressing in and upward. Finally, we're going to send the neck back in space a little bit, just so it's more aligned. The head back in space, so it's more aligned on top of the neck. So even while talking, we might have disengaged, which is totally fine. Sits bones, down to the ground, inward, upward, navel towards the spine, back of the head rests firmly atop the neck. Posture, hand postures can be any way you like. And to begin, you can have your mouth open. And we're going to take 10 or so exhales. So I'm going to have one hand on my belly to really feel into this. The exhale actually draws in the navel. You really want this sort of outburst of sound and breath, like you are emitting smoke because you are a dragon. So engage root, navel, back of the head, Everything is aligned. Feel that length. And then exhale, sharp. And eventually, you can relax. Eventually, the inhale becomes automatic because you're so focused on just that exhale and the pressing in that the inhale becomes reflexive. So let's take that a couple practices one more time. And release. So I'm going to take you through 10 breaths in that sort. I'm going to close my mouth and force the air out through my nose. You can try whatever feels good. Take it slow. I might be going a little fast in the beginning for you. So take it however you like, trying to retain the alignment as we go. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And here we go. And exhale. Good, or take a deep breath in. Begin again. Exhale. And then take a full cleansing breath in. Squeeze those bandhas, those locks again. Feel the lower energies pressing up, 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 and out and away, and release. Beautiful. Maybe already you're feeling a little bit of warmth. I certainly am, but this dog was also 100 degrees. A dance teacher once told me, because a lot of times in dance, you have to do these jumps, you essentially have to resist gravity. And in order to fight gravity, you have to squeeze it in first, and then you have space to move up. Same thing with the energy, pressing the lower energies out. Same thing with the breath. Really feel that center pulling in towards your middle. And then that which we want to release has an avenue where to go. You are going to be a pain, and I know it. Here we go. So let's get moving. We're going to take one more Kriya, which is these sort of Kundalini breath postures. I'm going to have a little high five hand, place my right thumb on my right nostril, engage the bandhas, and I'm going to take 10 breaths just with my left nostril open. Again, take it however you'd like. Deep breath in. And here we go. Deep breath in. Press everything in and up. And release. Excellent. Same thing on the other side. Left thumb covers left nostril. Deep breath in. Let's begin. Deep breath in. Engage up the spine and pause. Release. Excellent job. All right, now I encourage you to just find a comfortable seat. If you want to switch the cross of your legs, if you want to slide a pillow under your seat, if you're on your knees, go for it. We're just going to take some movement in our upper body. I'm taking some gentle circles. You can pause left and right. Oh, good. If you'd like to take a nice big stretch to the side, almost like you're painting a rainbow on the ceiling, feel free to do that. Nice and gentle. You're not going into your peak poses. You're not trying to achieve 110%. We're trying to warm our bodies, activate some of that life force, some of that prana through some fluid movement, steady rhythmic breath. Don't forget the neck. If you want to do half or full circles of the neck. All the while, breath is steady, breath is loyal. Breath is unhurried. So I don't know if I'm mirroring you or not, but I'm reaching my right hand up over my head, gently drawing, reaching my left ear and drawing my right ear towards the right shoulder. Trying not to collapse in the spine. My left fingers can reach toward the ground or on a block. And while we're here, try your best to relax the shoulders. If you're finding it's hard to relax the shoulders, draw the head up a little bit. Sometimes we're like, oh, the pose is split, maybe parallel. No, if it's causing you tension, release, start again. It can be comforting to allow the chin to drop, like chin to right boob area, and then draw it back, taking little quarter circles here. Always, you are in charge of the tension. Carefully release the hand first. Allow the nose to drop towards belly button. Head rises, Take 2 rinses of the shoulders up and back. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead, little top hug, gently drawing left ear towards left shoulder. My right hand is going to be energetically pressing down, while my left hand gently guides the left ear down. And again, take whatever feels good here. If it's dipping the nose down and up, if it's resting this right hand on the block. And I encourage you to come back to this flow in the future and come with all of the tools and equipment that you feel that you need in that moment. Releasing that hand first, allowing the nose to drop towards the belly button. Head comes up and rinse the shoulders 2 or 3 times. Excellent. Now we're going to do little Johnny Bravos. We're going to bring it around town with the rib cage. So it's essentially we're moving through cat and cow, front and back, but also if we had like a left and right cat and cow, the rib cage moves circular. I almost couldn't get that word out because I felt like a little spot. And when you find those little spots, little crunchy areas, little sticky points, take a moment, move through them slowly, breathe in them, and continue the fluid motion. Switch sides, 3 or 4 in the other direction. Breath, steady. Igniting that 3rd chakra, but mildly. Beautiful. Interlace the hands, reach them up. Maybe you want to stay here and just press the shoulders down. Perhaps you want to take a little fold forward and up. I'm not even collapsing down, but if you'd like to really just, by all means, I'm keeping mine a little bit more buoyant. Take a breath at the top and like you're pressing your hands through honey, release those fingers, lower the arms, 3, 2, 1, resisting, take a breath at the bottom. Exhale. Awesome. Let's come onto our hands and knees, tabletop position. Hands are underneath shoulders, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath hips. Try not to show you my crack here, so you're welcome. Hands, back parallel with the floor. And take some cat and cows now as we are in this new shape. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, rounding the spine, gaze towards navel, gaze towards the knees. Maybe gaze is internal with eyes closed. And you're invited here to take whatever movements feel authentic. And how do you find what's authentic? Well, essentially, when I'm not telling you what to do, what sorts of things are you doing? Some options include those Johnny Bravos, rib cage circles. Maybe you want to rotate the fingers to the sides and gently rock side to side, get a little bit of wrist and forearm strengthening and stretching. Perhaps you feel ready to turn the wrist towards your knees. These are all options. Maybe you want to tuck the toes. Maybe you're just like doing somersaults. Whatever gets you going in a way that feels safe, in a way that feels like preparatory. Like, all right, I'm limbering up. If you have your wrists in any sort of alternative position, give them a nice little shake. I recently, I feel like I get injured all the time because I'm doing crazy stuff. But I recently injured my wrist, and I'm like, really be very gentle with your wrists. They're small, so be very gentle with our fragile body parts. Beautiful. Now that we're in a flat, neutral spine, take a deep breath. Release. On the exhale, feel the belly button drawing towards the spine, even though we're not really rounding the spine. Inhale, try to retain the belly button towards the back. Exhale, keep it there. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to stretch the right foot back. Toes are going to be tucked. Dropping that right hip back in line with the left. Feel the belly button pressing up towards the spine, and then feel the spine pressing back towards the belly button. So your back might not move a ton, but you feel an engagement in that core. One breath here. exhale, we'll lift that heel off the ground, trying your best to keep hips aligned. Your leg may not go very high. Maybe you have a small bend. Totally fine. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and gently draw it in. Wag your tail left and right. Just releasing tension that we built. Our practice is all about building and cultivating tension, using tension to our advantage, using it to meet our goals, and then releasing it, letting ourselves integrate all that we have done and all that we have learned. All right, we're going to re-energize, reactivate that core, belly button to spine. Inhale, send the left leg out, toes tucked. Dropping the left hip in line with the right hip. Exhale. Inhale, we lift the heel. Maybe it's in line with our butts, maybe it's not. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then gently lower that knee back down. Wag your tail side to side. Good. And now we're going to bring the big toes together. Knees wide. I'm just turning to face you. We're going to send our hips back. Child's pose. While we're in this child's pose, imagine someone lovingly, gently pressed their hands on above your hips, sending the hips back in space to the wall behind you. And meanwhile, another loving force gently is drawing your arms forward. So you feel a nice long back, making space in your back. Forehead can rest on floor, pillow. If you want to get your chin out there, I don't love the chin out, but find some place where you can relax and reach in both directions. And inhale, you'll carefully use your hands to draw your body up. Whew. If sitting on your heels like this is comfortable, go for it. Otherwise, you can crisscross your legs, come on back to a comfortable seated position. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. 1, inhale, 2, inhale, 3, and then rock forward, coming on back into a neutral spine tabletop position. From here, I'm going to tuck my toes, lift my hips in the air. First downward dog of this practice, and take any movement here that you like. That ultimately helps you feel settled and comfortable. That might be pedaling out the feet. Maybe you like to do little twists, you can bend your knees. Experiment with just letting the head be heavy. Where does it kind of land? Maybe you want to let the jaw relax, tongue just relax if it's glued to one side of your mouth or between your teeth. Let it relax. And come to a place of relative stillness, feeling the body pressing towards the thighs, having a softness in the knees. Deep breath in. Exhale, palms flat, fingers spread wide. Inhale. And exhale, look forward. Begin to walk those feet behind your wrists. Legs can be pretty wide. Mine are almost as wide as my mat. And then you can reach for opposite elbows if you like. Let the head be heavy and sway side to side. Ragdoll pose. I also feel like it's just like zombie pose, just like zombies like roaming around. I love it. I was saying in my like live class that I like watching people just sort of like get into their like zany, I think of like Chucky dolls, just like like kind of creepy ragdoll zombie positions, and then swaying like they're like being mind controlled. Keeping your breath steady. If you'd like, you can interlace the hands at the tailbone and stretch them long and get a little shoulder rinse in there. If your shoulders are not up for that, continue to just hold opposite elbows. And then when you're ready to release, lower the hands back to the tailbone. Carefully release the hands towards the floor. Bend the knees deeply, and we're going to roll up in 4, 3. Head is the last thing. 2, 1. Roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Feel the tailbone tuck under and the heart reach up towards the sky. So we're not exactly dropping back. We're just tucking the tail, lifting the heart up. So it's lengthening, not compressing. One more breath here. And then exhale, we're going to just release the arms at our sides, palms forward. Feel rooted through the feet, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath, close your eyes. Exhale. Take another deep breath, deep, full breath. Clear away the cobwebs all the way down to the belly. Big sigh, let it out. Beautiful. Let's incorporate a little bit more flow into our physical practice. So I'm facing this way. You can face any way you like. By this point, you're probably facing the short edge of your mat. I might turn side to side just so you can see a better angle. So I'm going to turn side this way, bend my knees, reach my arms out and up. I'm going to send my arms forward as I reach forward, forward fold, bend knees. Inhale, hands to thighs or shins, halfway lift. Take a moment here, draw shoulders back, draw tailbone back, draw crown of the head forward. See if you're, crunching your neck. Can we keep it long? Take a couple breaths here. I notice, because I can see my own reflection, I tend to lean back, which puts a lot of stress on my hamstrings, and I'm trying to use the balls of my feet a little more actively. So things like this, you just become aware of the more you practice, the more you're like, oh, I've been in this position before. What little adjustments do I want to make? One more breath here. And really soften the knees before we fold again. Exhale. Inhale. Flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees, forward fold, exhale. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. So we're going to plant the hands, step one foot back, and then the other, find your high plank. Pause. Squeeze those cheeks, belly button towards spine. Toes are still tucked. We're just going to drop the belly towards the floor in this lifted up dog, if that's comfortable. And then engaging the core, like someone just poked you in the belly button. Press yourself back into your downward dog. Kind of like a wave is going through you. So inhale, lift the heels, shift forward, shoulders over wrists. And then your exhale, you just drop those hips down. One more round. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, shift forward, shoulders over wrist, find that plank, and then you continue to drop it down. Beautiful. Dropping the knees, reaching those hips back, child's pose. Feel into the little bit of fire you've been creating. Just take note of it. There's no right or wrong in this practice of cultivating awareness. All right, it's just a matter of being aware that you are aware. It's a whole thing. You can go down quite the rabbit hole, but don't be like, oh, I'm doing it wrong or whatever. No, if you're noticing at all, like, keep noticing. Noticing how you're doing, noticing how you're breathing, noticing how you're feeling, that little moments along the way. All right, pressing back into our tabletop position. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift the heels, downward dog. Exhale here. Next inhale, you're gonna lift your right foot. Exhale, we're gonna send the knee towards the nose, shifting shoulders over wrists. Step that foot in one or several steps in between my hands, lowering the back knee. Beautiful. Inhale, you can use the thigh for support, or you can just rise up, arms up, drawing right hip back so it's in line with the left hip. Deep breath, feel long. Exhale, bend the elbows, heart shines up. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. And then I'm going to send my hands to the inside of that right foot. And I'm going to lift the left foot, turn it so that it is parallel with the short edge of my mat. Using my hands to help keep me stable. And then from here, I'm going to walk my hands back up to my hips and then stretch my right leg long. Yep, there we are. Right leg out, left leg tucked under. Right arm is going to scoop out and up, and you have two options here. You can just find a place where you're like really activating the side body and hold. Alternatively, if you have a block or you want to reach towards the floor with that left arm, just to emphasize the stretch rather than just the strengthen, that is fine too. Take a breath. Next breath in. Oh yeah, use those muscles to rise tall. Hands come to hips. I'm going to draw that right foot in and then point the toes out towards the front, the original front of my mat. Inhale, reach the arms out, lunging into that right leg. You might have to creep the toes out a little so the knee is right over the ankle, just not too far in front. Draw the shoulders back, gaze over right fingers, modify, warrior two. I tend to feel it when I'm down. I feel it way more in the thigh than when I'm standing. Who knows what I'm doing, but I find this very active. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, bringing my left hand to my hip, reaching my right arm back. A lot of people like to inhale on these. I like to exhale, and then I inhale to come back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle. So you can bring right forearm to thigh and just reach it up. Alternatively, if you feel warm, you can send that arm down your leg. This can look however else. Some people like to take a little bind, which might be a little early in this practice. Do whatever you like, half bind. These are just options, options aplenty. One more breath here. Feel long, feel if your arm is down, it's pressing into that knee, keeping the knee guiding over the pinky toe. And then next inhale, warrior two. Beautiful. I'm going to frame my front foot slowly, and as I do so, I'm going to lift the back foot and send it right back into our modified runner's lunge. So this is basically how we began. From here, I'm going to plant my palms, lift the back knee, carefully send the right leg back, and take a chaturanga. You can go to your knees. This is my second yoga practice of the day, so I'm like, all right, I'm taking the chaturanga. Finding our way into downward dog, deep breath in. Full emptying exhale. Next side, two beautiful legs, two beautiful sides. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, shifting forward, knee towards nose. Find that compression in your mula, in your solar plexus chakra, and then step it through. I always have a hard time saying the chakra names. Beautiful. We're going to lower the back knee. Keep the toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels better for you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, as we settle into this position, draw left hip back in space so it's aligned with right. And elbows bend like goalposts, sending the heart up. One breath in. And exhale, we come back through center. Bring the hands on the inside edge of that foot as we lift the right foot. Don't hit Mason. Draw it towards the long edge of your mat. Walk the hands to the back of your mat. Inhale, we come up. So I know my back is to you, but that is deliberate to more accurately mimic what you might be doing. Our left leg is going to draw long. Toes can be wherever you feel stable. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, reach to that right side. You can stay looking down or up. If you'd like to lower the right fingers, go for it. One more breath. One more exhale. The inhale powers you up. Come back to your gate pose. Beautiful. From here, the front leg draws in slightly. Toes turn to face the short edge of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale into your warrior two, gazing over left fingers. Strong arms, shoulder blades draw together. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Feeling the tailbone tuck under ever so slightly. One breath in. My exhale, I'm going to bring my right arm to my hip. Reach left arm over. Inhale is going to bring me up strong. Exhale, extended side angle, wherever you want to take it. We're going to hold this for a couple breaths. You can practice the half bind. Practice half bind the other way. And your inhale, whenever it comes, it's going to lift you back up. Exhale, you're going to windmill those arms to frame the front foot slowly enough so that you can lift the back foot, bring it parallel, the long edge of your mat, just as we began. Take a moment, find length in that spine. Exhale, we tuck the toes. We send the front leg back, high plank. Shifting forward, if you're dropping the knees, go for it. Otherwise, you can keep the knees lifted. We find our way into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward. Bend your knees. You can hop, step, float, walk those feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades together, neck is long. Exhale, we fold with softness in the legs. Inhale, reach those arms out and up as we grip through those feet, get tall, tall, tall. Exhale, hands come through heart. Open Tadasana. Take a deep breath. Release. Again, deep breath in. Lasers out your fingers. Release. Go ahead and just shake everything out. Sometimes I feel like I'm in like a yoga, like plastic wrap, and I'm like, must move. Sometimes it's nice to just like shake out any extra weird energy you're trying not to cultivate right now. So before we do our next bit, we're gonna just open our legs. You can do a little jumping jack. A little wider than your hips. We're gonna take a wide-legged chair pose. For this, just be mindful if your legs tend to draw together, kind of like, what do you call this, like duck-footed? They tend to draw together, knock-kneed a little bit. Really engage the glutes and the outer thighs to keep them open. Alternatively, if you're like, almost like turned out, really trying to keep them aligned. All right, take a deep breath in. Send the butt back like you're sitting on a chair that's just a little too high, bending the knees. I pretend that I'm like skiing, even though like I've never seen a successful skier look this way. And then your next breath, send those thumbs forward and up. Maybe lift your toes. So you make sure you're really on the full foot. Good, take a couple breaths here. Sitting a little lower. One more breath in. Then your exhale, stretch it up and fold. Good, take another ragdoll, soft knees. You can reach opposite elbows. Rock side to side. Beautiful. Releasing the hands at your feet. Option to go into a crow or a crow prep. So my knees are nice and bent. My belly is basically resting on my legs. And then I rock forward until my palms come down to the floor or onto blocks. And as I do so, my heels lift. Whee. You're basically just playing with the transfer of weight. If you'd like, you can bring those knees to the outer edges of the bicep, tricep, and practice squeezing into those arms as you rock. Whee. Gaze is just ahead of the fingertips at the center of the mat. Maybe you get a little lift. Remember, to resist gravity, you got to squeeze it in first, and then up. So we're just taking a couple preps. If you've been holding a crow this whole time, well done. Take a breather. Beautiful. From here, you're gonna step those feet down, walk the hands forward, jump or step the feet back, high plank, and find your chaturanga. Dropping the knees, take a child's pose. I'm like all sorts of directions now. I should be facing the front edge of my mat. Beautiful. Inhale, we come back through tabletop. Let's reignite our fiery energy with an active flow. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, deep breath in. Full exhale. Deep breath in. Empty it out. Inhale, I'm going to lift my right foot again. And I'm going to step it through just as I did. Beautiful. This time I'm going to keep my knee lifted, but if you'd like to drop it, by all means, I'm going to inhale, using my thigh for support or just sending the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, heart is shining up. Good job. Inhale, up. Exhale, turning out the back foot. Right toes are still pointing to the front edge of the mat. Find yourself into your warrior two. Take a moment to align yourself here, guiding the knee over the pinky edge side, so it's not knocking inward. Feeling energized down the back leg, shoulders. I always have Frankenstein shoulders. Lower the shoulders, draw them together at their points. Gaze over right hand. Take a deep breath. And exhale. But this time, the inhale is going to reverse our warrior. Inhale, reach that arm up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extended side angle. You can always drop that arm. Exhale, warrior two. Find that flow again. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior. Inhale, extend that angle. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful. Now we're going to cartwheel those hands to frame the front foot, turning the back foot in just as we did on the floor. This time we're going to incorporate a little bit of balance. So you can watch me a few times if you want. We're going to try for 5. We're going to come from our runner's lunge. We're going to lower the knee. And we're going to, this dog, send that knee forward and bring it back as gracefully as you can. Whatever works. You want to lift your knee or keep it down. I do this like mid version. Power through. Send it down. It helps to kind of lean the body forward to guide, to tell that leg where you want it to go. All right, begin to take your own 5. The breath in is the up. The breath out is the release. And on your 5th one, we'll pause in the middle. And breathe. Or I should say we should pause lifted. Beautiful. From here, you're going to take your right hand. Your left leg is lifted. You're going to take your right hand, draw it on the outside, and take a twist. So right hand to outside of left leg. I'm twisting my body open to the front of the room. Hand can come wherever feels good. Carefully release back through center. One breath in. The exhale is the slowest, smoothest, most gorgeous transition you've ever done in your life. I'm sure you're all going to just masterfully do it on the first try. Oh God, not even me, and I've done this a few times. Whew. You can feel that fire cultivating in that calf. Bring the right hand on the inside of that right leg, taking a lizard. Yeah, so both hands inside, right leg outside. I dropped my back knee because like it just feels more good, feels more better. Mason is chasing, and rightly so, chasing like little bees around the house. Please get them, but don't sting yourself and cost me a lot of money. But if you want to guide that knee open, this should be a stretch that feels relaxing. If you're really activating, that's fine, but we are going to be here for a few breaths. So whatever it takes to kind of melt. Some people like to use the right arm to reach for the left foot and draw it towards you. Draw it towards your butt. You find what feels good. One more breath in this lizard, right leg in front. Then we're going to inhale to lift the left knee. Yeah, we did it. Step the right leg back. Find your flow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Well done. 2 beautiful legs, 2 beautiful sides. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step in between those hands, squaring the hips. A little faster now. Inhale, we lift the body. Exhale, heart shines up to the sky. I'm going to turn this way just so my butt is not facing you.
Sorry, I missed something.
All right, Alexa, relax. Inhale, up. Exhale, turning out the back foot. Gaze over left, fingers, warrior two, sinking a little deeply. We'll take a couple rounds here. Inhale, dropping back arm, reaching left arm over your ear. Exhale, warrior, always drawing the tailbone in for lower back support. Inhale, extend the side angle, whatever version you want. Exhale, warrior. Taking that again, inhale, reverse. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale. Well done. And now we're going to cycle those arms around, frame the front foot, turning the back leg to be parallel with the long edge of your mat. Beautiful. From here, we're going to do those knee drives. I'm going to not kick my plants. You can drop the back knee, keep it lifted, whatever feels good. Taking 5 and pause. Inhale, up. Exhale, gently back. Inhale up. Oh yeah. Man, I balance so much better at home. I wish my yoga teachers could see me. I'm always like the one in class like, oh, sorry, because I like knocked a whole line of domino people over. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be the catalyst. And as your 5th one, pause. Really feeling kind of like a compression as we use the hip flexor to lift, really grounding through the supportive leg. Left arm is going to reach up over the outside of the right leg, and you're going to twist. You'll probably be twisting to the back of the room now. I just changed my direction. Good. Hand into leg, leg into hand. Deep breathing, trying to steady your breath. Inhale to release. Come back to center. Exhale. Oh yeah. Shifting back, just as we begin. Right leg extends long behind us, almost like we're going through a warrior 3. And oh yeah, place it down. Good. Hands are going to come on the inside of that left leg. I'll turn to face you. So we have our lizard. Sorry, Mason. On our left side, you can drop the back knee. Take whatever you like. I mean, I believe most of yoga is transitions, and as in yoga, as in life. You know, it's a lot of times it's not just like the events we're going to, the experiences we're trying to have. It's like all the in-between stuff. Like for me, if I could just like get anywhere in a car without like screaming at people and like losing my mind, because I was like, you know, I live in such a congested area, that would make the actual event and experience so much more enjoyable. So I'd be so much more present, you know, because it's these transitional moments that if we can smooth those out, well, then all the better for the moment we're actually trying to arrive to. We're prepared, we're set up, we're aligned, we're a little more balanced, a little more clear. Of course, you know, it's progress, not perfection. Take another variation if you'd like. You can reach the left arm over to the right foot and draw it towards your butt. So come on, see what I'm doing there. Good. Can bring the forearms to the ground. You can do this fancy little like wrap your left hand around, come to your forearms. I don't know if that's 100% where my body wants to be, so I'm just gonna keep it nice and lifted. I actually really like it on blocks too, to make my spine extra long. One more breath. Now we're going to reactivate, tucking those toes, lifting the back knee, carefully setting the left leg back. Chaturanga. Beautiful. 3 to 5 breaths here. Home base, palms flat, fingers spread wide. Heels energetically pressing towards the ground. They certainly never have to touch the ground. You just want to feel that full stretch in the entire body. Well, I'm not going to tell you what you want to do with your life. I enjoy feeling that, and that's what I go for. Good. Taking one more breath in. Exhale. And just kidding, we're taking another breath in, but this time we're going to lift our heels and we're going to come into a seated position. If you want to play around with like a little lifting of the hips and crossing the feet, we sit back. Some of you might be working on your jump throughs, including me. You're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, hips are high. Wherever you are. Beautiful. So now we're in this lovely long-legged, can't see my long legs here, lovely long-legged upright position. Good. We're going to use our hands as little anchors on either side, roll the shoulders back. We're going to lift the right leg. It's almost like pyramid pose when we're standing up. Flex toes and hold. In a couple seconds, you might be like, this is nothing. Then after a while, you're going to be like, oh my God. And pulse. Yes, we're activating the quad. But in order to keep our back up, we're almost doing like a little crunch with our core, like little alligator teeth. Okay. 3, 2, 1, cross. 3, 2, 1, up. Bend that knee, give it a hug. Release. The little hug hopefully is releasing the tension in the hip flexor that we just worked so hard at building. All right, realign that spine. Almost like we're going to boat pose, Savasana. We want that really strong, engaged core. Flex the feet, inhale, lift. This is where we just hang out. Feeling belly button draw towards spine, setting ourselves up. These are the transitional moments. These are the moments. And pulse. 3, 2, 1, cross. 3, 2, 1. The cross could be kind of funny. You might feel like I can't cross that much. That's okay. You just want to feel it. Energy pulling inward. Bend that knee. Relax this area. Send it out. Beautiful. We're going to scoot our butts forward. Feet plant firmly on the ground. Palms up. Recline slightly. Try to keep your back straight, even though you're on maybe a diagonal now. And take a bow pose. You can point your feet. You can flex your feet. You can do like, switching. Some people like to do little, what do they call it? Like palpations, whatever. They like to like press into the air. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. Good. Now we're going to sink a little lower. And come back up. And up. 2 more. Feel the inner fire. And last one. Hover, hold, feel like the thighs squeezing towards belly to thighs. Yet somehow shoulders are back. Just do all the contradictive things at once. And then slowly release in 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Take a breath. Do a little stretch of the arms. We are going to roll over onto our bellies. Take a nice little back bend. So I like to have my legs nice and wide. My knees are always like, I don't know, troubled. They've been troubled my whole life. So I always like to tuck my toes. You might notice I do that more than untuck. But if you're like, my knees are grace and dignity and beauty, then you can do whatever you want. From here, I'm going to draw my elbows underneath my shoulders. Press my shoulders away. We don't wear them as earrings. It's like something I say in my classes all the time. Like, don't wear your shoulders as earrings. Anyway, draw the elbows now towards the body. Feel like your heart is pressing back out. Again, all these contradictions, pulling in both directions. If you don't do it yourself, life is going to do it to you anyway. So you might as well get some practice on the mat. Take a deep breath. 3. Exhale. 2. Inhale. 1. Exhale, release. Head comes to your hands. Take a little snooze. Option to do that again. Other option, if you want to go a little bit, kind of get a little deeper into it, which sometimes we don't want to go deep, But if today is the day you do, we're going to bring our arms maybe to the corners of our yoga mat or a little wider. I still have kind of like starfish legs. I'm going to press my fingertips into the ground and hang out here, shoulders back, heart forward. Again, instead of the forearms pulling you back, the fingertips are going to pull back to send the heart forward. Squeeze your butt cheeks. I promise you it helps your back. You're like, this is not okay for my back. Reset, squeeze the cheeks. You may not go in quite as high, and that's good because that means your back is not like hyper flexing in a way that it doesn't like. Yeah, science. Hold it. 3, shoulders back as much as you can. 2, and with gentleness, release. 1. Rest the other cheek on the hands for this round. You can lift the legs and gently windshield wipe the feet back and forth. Good, and send them long. We're gonna roll over. Just keeping with my zombie metaphor, we're just like rolling bodies. Awesome. So now back bend time if you want. So my dog just gave me aggressive eye contact. You don't have to do it. So an option, I'll give you a couple options. Feet come to butt for a bridge. You can almost like touch your heels. Palms are flat. Squish that space away that you're between the floor and the lower back. Press the belly button down so hard that that space almost goes away or goes away completely. And then we lift our hips from there. You can always catch your hips, slide a block or a pillow underneath your hips. So it's like, hey, I'm doing the work, but I'm not like, I'm doing the work, but I'm not like so energetic to keep myself there. I would just like more of a passive stretch to happen to me. Then slide something under there. Otherwise, you can interlace the hands under your butt Bring the shoulder blades in a little closer. Squeeze those legs towards each other. The knees should not touch, but you feel that squeezing in. I know we're holding this. I wish I had a fun story to tell you. Mason, are you serious right now? And then if your hands are interlaced, release them. You can do robot arms to guide your back to the ground. And then rock side to side. Mason, stop it. First Alexa, now you. Oh, you just bit me. You just bit me. I feed you. I buy you everything. You didn't bite me. It was a love bite. We're gonna take that one more time, or you can take another kind of back bend. So if you want to go for wheel, feet are the same. Mason, I cannot do wheel when you're like this. And then I'm gonna take my palms, fingers are gonna point towards your shoulders. Mason, stop it. Yeah. And we're gonna lift the hips. I'm not sure if I can accurately demonstrate this right now. And then the arms. Some yogis, oh my God, so you are a disaster. You are a disaster. Some yogis like to actually balance on their heads to get into that. I don't usually recommend it just because like that can be kind of intense. That being said, once you get used to it, if you like to gently take a rest on the crown of your head and that's something you're used to, by all means, like some people like to do one of these. Then power through the arms, elbows towards each other and go up. But again, that may not be for you. We're lower down gently. Sorry about my poor demonstration. My assistant decided to be a turd. And gently rock the knee side to side. That's a good point. Good, then legs up, just to reverse the flow of everything. You can just have them up. You can lift the hips and catch them, shoulder stance. You can bring your legs up a wall. I'm just trying to get some of this reverse flow happening. Mason, you are such a little punk. Why? Get out of here. And carefully release. This is gonna be tough during Shavasana. And now anything you like. Happy baby. Half pigeon. Dog through the window, because that's where he's going. And imagine that I had this magical power where I could sort of dim the lights a little bit, maybe have garden sparkle lights come on. Maybe your favorite music is playing gently in the background. You release your hands, release your feet. Maybe you hug your knees in. Any kind of closing, kind of symbolic or steady, smooth gestures that you like. Or if you want to do like a back handspring, it's your practice, it's your yoga. Do whatever you want. Just take a moment while I commit violence against my dog. You find inner peace. And when you have had enough, spread out your body, lay down on your back, arms at your side, palms up or palms down, feet out. You are like Patrick Star of your own imagining. Closing your eyes, feeling gaze and eyeballs even heavy. Letting the sounds of life hum on, uninterrupted by your moment of peace. I will bring us back out of this in a couple of moments. I leave you with a few reminders. There is no right or wrong. If your mind is not empty, you are not doing it wrong. If your mind is like a blank page and you want to, you're full of creative energy, you are also not wrong. If your body is calm, but your mind is active, you're not wrong. Alternatively, if you feel energy in the body, but your mind feels calm, you are not wrong. What we are doing is cultivating awareness, noticing, making note, because as a wise yoga teacher once told me, without awareness, you can't change shit. So we come into ourselves, we feel what we feel, we name what we're going through. We invite it all to the party. And then we can sort of bid a couple things adieu. We can maybe freeze a couple things in time and let them go. We begin to play once we are aware of who is in the game. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. This same wise yoga teacher once said, and I think he was even butchering the quote, but the things that we let go of often have claw marks in it. Maybe we can loosen our grip a little bit. Breathe into the grip. Breathe space and release, even if it's millimeter by millimeter. And maybe we can't let things go, but maybe we can put them down while we are together. I will leave you in a couple moments of silence, and I'll come back in just a few breaths. You are invited to stay in your Shavasana as long as time permits. Alternatively, bringing a little life into our body. We move our fingers, we move our feet and ankles. Slowly draw our nose from side to side. Maybe we reach our arms overhead in a good morning stretch. Perhaps we stay on our backs or we roll over onto our favorite side into a fetal pose, like a reborn pose. Feeling all that heat, like you're holding that heat that you cultivated in your arms. Pause here. And slowly and lazily use those arms to press yourself up to a comfortable seated position, reclosing your eyes if you had to open them. Hands come together in front of your heart or pressing onto your heart. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Exhale. Bow to you in honor of our practice, in honor of any of the life that's around us during our practice, dog, pets, loved ones, neighbors, cousins. Thank you for your energy, for your participation, and for your open-mindedness. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for this earth. Thank you so much. I offer namaste here, alternatively, and in addition, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.